Welcome to Bria Brown Live. My name is Bria Brown and I am your host. Today I will be speaking to two people, but first I'm going to start out my Blueprint series by speaking with a media maven, Miss Fashanta Hubert. Hi Fashanta, how are you?
Hi, Bria. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. First, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to speak with me and talk about, what has led you to where you are right now in your career. And I know that you're a correspondent, you are an actress, you are an entrepreneur, you are a model. I mean, you have so much going on right now. And you've also been featured on TV One's Roland Martin with News One Now, his news show. You've been featured on TMZ Live. You've also been featured on Revolt TV. And she's also been on different magazines online, such as Huffington Post, Galore, Black Enterprise. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. So I want to know, how did you get into this industry? How did it start?
Honestly, for me, this is something I always wanted to do. Like as a young girl, growing up in middle school, elementary school, I was always getting into like modeling gigs and acting. My mom put me into acting, and growing up, my dad was an entrepreneur, so I kind of learned from him and my mom, and it's just something that I always grew to love, and I always stayed in front of the camera, no matter if I was just taking pictures or just trying to sing everywhere or trying to interview somebody. It was just something that developed over time, and I wanted to take it serious as a career when I got older.
Now, everything that I've mentioned, you've done all of this before the age of 23. So I need to know your secret. So, what has motivated you and has kept you going, even on those days where you maybe wanted to give up? How did you keep going?
Honestly, well, what motivates me is knowing that I feel like everyone can achieve their goals no matter what age you are, no matter where you come from, and it's always been important for me just to achieve my goals and my dreams. Like, I really always been that way, and I know like of course we have those days where we are kind of down and kind of get unmotivated and kind of discouraged, but I just kind of really picture and envision where I want to be, like before I'm 30 or 25. And so I just kind of wake up each day and kind of just keep going and striving to just more success and trying to hit all my goals. I have before I'm 30, like of course I want to be working for hopefully for Entertainment or for a huge network. I'm just trying to like strive to my goals. Every morning I just try to get up and try to get to it.
Now, okay, so you're talking about motivation, you're talking about speaking stuff out loud, you're talking about you have goals before you want to turn 25, before you turn 30, short term and long term goals. Now, I know with media and with television, this industry, a lot of people only see the finished product. They don't see the behind the scenes. So, are you more of a behind the scenes person also, or are you just more so in front of the camera?
I handle behind scenes and I handle, of course, like on scenes. Like I'm up here editing my own videos. I'm going. Like, I have my graphic team, but I edit my own videos, do my own graphics sometimes. I put the sound to my videos. I'm behind scenes and I am on the screen. Like I set up my own interviews with everyone, and I'm actually my own press person. So it's like I handle kind of do everything right now. But my team is slowly growing, and I'm so thankful for everyone who is a part of my team. But I kind of do it all behind scenes and like in front of the camera.
Okay, now you did start out, I believe I remember interviewing radio hosts in your area. So how was that for you? Were you nervous, or how did you get through that?
Oh yeah, I was honestly, well, yes, I was nervous. um, I wanted to be on camera, and at that point in time, of course, I had no material. I was fresh, I was new, and I couldn't get any celebrity interviews because, of course, I was always getting told no, and I didn't have that much content. So I decided to change that no into a yes and create my own content, build my own brand and my own media company. And I was like, okay, well, why not start off in my own city? Well, my own state. So I decided to reach out to almost every radio personality there was in Michigan, and I just started interviewing them one by one. I still have the videos to this very day. I'm not going to take them down. But to answer your question, I was nervous because it was very new for me. I also started off interviewing like local actors, local up and coming artists, people who even had like bakeries. I tried to reach out to them. Like I promised, I really just wanted to interview people, and I love like sharing people's stories. And I love getting great positive content. And so anyone who I felt like had a great story to share, I really tried to reach out to them to inquire about interviewing them, to get their story out to the world. I really enjoy the interviewing people. It's like amazing because I learned something when I'm interviewing somebody. Every interview I have done, I take away something from that, and it's just so amazing hearing people's stories. It's like to be able to do that, it's a great feeling.
That was going to be my next question. So you already answered it for me. I was going to ask you, has there been any lesson that you've learned throughout all of this? Now, you've interviewed, why don't you just name some of the celebrities that you've interviewed?
Okay. I've interviewed, let's see, Angie Martinez. I interviewed Tyler Perry. Tinashe. I've interviewed Migos. I've interviewed, let's see, Martin Luther King III. So in Urban Al Sharpton. These are people who I never would have imagined that I would have interviewed with my own media company. And I was just so happy and so blessed to have the opportunity because speaking to them, it was just almost like a dream come true kind of. It was just kind of so like it wasn't real, but I take away that you have to keep pushing and you have to never give up because as you progress, you're going to continue to interview bigger people, and like one day I hope to interview Oprah or Beyonce. But just to interview Reverend Al Sharpton or Martin Luther King III. It's just, I mean, the list goes on, but those two stand out to me because I never would have imagined, like, to be interviewing them and we learn about Martin Luther King in school, and so to talking to his son, it's like what? But I try to just, when I ask them questions, I try to ask them questions that I feel like we all want to know. But yeah, I just I don't know. It's just so like I don't know, breathtaking, I guess.
I can definitely tell that you're passionate. Now, in our industry, this it's a very saturated industry. So, how does your work stand out amongst others?
I feel like my work stands out because I do try to create positive content. If it's negative, I won't write about it. I won't have any of my correspondents talk about it. I won't have them write about it. Like we all know that MissPrompts.com is a media site where it's dedicated to bringing clean cut and fabulous interviews to your screen and online because I feel like celebrities, I don't even like to call them celebrities. They're people just like us, but people who are a little bit higher. Like we're all people. So why do we have to bash them just to get a good story? Why can't we kind of get the story in a positive light? So I feel like my media company, I try to make it more positive on the positive side. I still interview up and coming artists, whoever you are, and like I feel like I don't like to tell people no, and I feel like who am I to tell somebody no? And I've been told no numerous times, so I know how it feels. So my motto is, I just try to keep persevering and striving for success, and I try not to tell people no. I don't like telling people no unless I really have to, but yeah, it's hard in this industry, but you have to have a level. You have to just stay focused and stay motivated. It can get you at times because sometimes you think, well, I should be further than what I am, but you have to think, well, you're not where you were 3 years ago. You're not where you were 4 years ago. So you're getting somewhere. So just staying focused and creating positive content is what I try to aim to do, because I don't like talking about people. I'm just a positive person in general, like even off the camera. And so I feel like that's what my media company is about, just bringing fun interviews to your screen and just different and creative content, positive content is what I'm about and what my media company is about. My team is what we're about.
That's awesome. Now, I know we talked about your short-term goals really briefly and what you wanted to do when, by the time you're 30. So what's next for Miss Fashanta? What can people expect from you?
Next, let's see. I mean, I hope to. Well, I'm not gonna say I hope, but someday I will be opening up. I want to open up like a salon one day. Honestly, I am also a licensed cosmetologist. No one really knows that. I got licensed when I was like fresh out of high school, but I hope to one day open up a salon and to run my own salon and my own big, huge media corporate office one day. And of course, like I said, to be a host on E! Entertainment is one of my goals as well. I watch this show all the time. One of my favorites. Just to continue to build my own brand and take it higher. I feel like each year should be a different level, and so I try to make it better and better each year, and trying to come up with different ways how I can make it better. So just trying to get my brand higher, and trying to expand my team more, and trying to expand myself more. So more acting in the future, opening up more companies, and just trying to be this great person and inspire people. And that's what keeps me going, honestly, as well. I forgot to mention, people reach out to me and tell me that I inspire them. It's like reading that inspires me and makes me want to work harder, because I know how it can be. I am in college, and I know how people say, well, how did you do this in college? Like, I feel like everyone can do it. You have to apply yourself, and learn how to balance out your daily tasks. Like, you can do it. Like, you really can. I want to be an example of that. I want to be an example of how you can accomplish goals before. Like, I just turned 24 like on May 2nd, but I want. Thank you. I want to be able to people know you can accomplish your dreams. In your early 20s or whatever age you are, it's possible. You can be a mom. You can be in college. You can do it. You can. You never say you can't. That's always possible. Like, learn how to turn that no into a yes. I also just started a new podcast called Celebrate Hearing No. And yeah, the reasoning is because, at some point, no matter what field you're in, we always get told that no or not right now. And that's okay. You have to let that motivate you and not bring you down. Someday that no is going to be turned to a yes. So my new podcast, it speaks to entrepreneurs, still speaks to celebrities and everyone in the world who's like making a great impact. And we get to hear their stories and be interviewing them. So it's like a podcast but interview format. And it's really fun. So it's really fun. And you can find it on iTunes and Google Play under Miss Lashanta. My new podcast episode coming up this weekend will feature Yvonne from Insecure. She plays Molly on Insecure. So we get to hear her story and how she became a comedian and actress. But for me, I just want to continue and expand my business and myself. I know I'm talking all day.
I love hearing stuff like this, because I want people to see that you can have so many hats and you can still do more. There's never a stopping point. You can always be better at something. You can always continue to do something. So I love hearing stuff about this. I think that's a good place to end this. I do want to thank you for speaking with me, and I want to thank you for also motivating those who are watching this and have come to that, I want to say, the brick in the road and just don't know what to do. So thank you so much, Fashanta, for speaking with me today.
Of course, anytime. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Well, coming up next on Bria Brown Live, I have someone who started their own documentary. Stay with us. Welcome back to Bria Brown Live. Every social issue has a pattern, and it's her job to connect it. Creator and founder of Connected Patterns, Tam Wilson, is here with me today to speak about her documentary. Welcome, Tam.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. So when we met, I think it was 2016.
Okay.
And I asked you, or either you introduced yourself and you were saying how you had a documentary that was going to be coming out, and it was going to be called Connected Patterns. Now, can you tell the audience a little bit about Connected Patterns?
Okay, so Connected Patterns is a documentary about unsolved homicides. So the actual slogan comes from like, okay, every social issue has a pattern. It's my job to connect it because in most communities we have a certain pattern that doesn't get discussed, and I want to display that through documentaries. I believe that film and documentaries can bring healing. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the motivating factors behind this documentary.
Now, when did you start this?
I started filming 2014 fall.
Wow.
Fall of 2014. I'm gonna say probably around November.
Okay.
I had graduated from college from Tennessee State University. Immediately, I started looking for jobs, stressed out, couldn't find. You know the college how it is. After college, after college struggle is what I call it, the struggle. So after college, I was struggling. I didn't know what to do, and I was like, out of the blue, it hit me like, okay, well, I really want to talk about this certain topic. I went to DPS schools. I went to McKenzie High School. Before they actually closed, then I transferred over to the suburbs to Thurston High School. But before then, I would notice a lot of classmates that I had were passing away. Every time I got on Facebook, it would say something like, rest in peace this person, or rest in peace that person. And it became a norm for me. And I didn't have any feeling towards it anymore. So when I would hear someone be like, oh, you know, such and such was killed at da-da-da's party, my reaction would be like, dang. And that was it, and I keep it moving because it's, especially in a black community, it's such a norm for someone to be killed violently. So once I realized that I was numb to that feeling, I was like, that's a problem and that's an issue. So what can be done about that? And that's where the documentary the idea came about.
Now, did you just interview people from Detroit, or is it all over the state? How did you get the interview started? First of all, who did you go to find people? Did you go through Facebook? Did you use social media? What did you do?
So what happened is I reached out, and it's all God's timing, because I reached out to one person. That's it. I reached out to this one lady who's featured in the film. She's such a sweetheart. But I reached out to her via Facebook. The minute that I reached out to her, I promise you, it probably was like, I'm going to say, not even 24 hours, an organization reached out to me called Mothers and Murdered Children here in Detroit. Wow. And they said they seen my resume reel on the internet.
How?
Like, on my website.
Okay.
So they said, yeah, you know, we seen your resume reel on the website. I really want to put together this project. So I'm like, I just reached out to someone about a documentary that I want to film. So through that organization, I started networking with a bunch of women. Unfortunately, that organization is built off of women's hurt. You know, these mothers who lost their kids, but they're doing a lot of impactful things in the community. And then from there, I had another lady reach out to me and say, hey, I really want you to tell my daughter's story. And it honestly, it fell into my lap. I didn't have to reach out, call her, or do anything.
Now, did the feeling change once you started getting these phone calls and these mothers are saying they want you to share their children's story? Prior, you said that when you would see someone that said rest in peace, you would say dang, or all right, and then keep it moving. Did that change once you started this documentary?
It actually did. I became more sympathetic and more sensitive. I can say I've been documenting these two particular families for 2.5 years now, because it'll be 3 years come fall that I've been filming. Wow. So it feels like, even though I never met neither one of the people who who I'm doing a documentary based around, it feels like it's some type of connection there. Like I know them. Like I know, like, this person loves basketball. This one was goofy and silly. This one was like the guy who all the girls like. Like, you know, I feel connected to them in some type of weird way. And honestly, like, I look at a lot of the families that I've interviewed, like, these are like my people now. So it definitely it has humbled me a whole lot. And it made me very, very sensitive and sympathetic when it comes to that topic.
Now, the families, were they kind of apprehensive to talk to you at first about their child being killed, or were they instantly, this is what you need to know, this is how it happened? Also, were some of the families really resentful toward whoever killed their child?
I think I came in at a stage where both the parents that I did work with are more in a healing stage. So it wasn't so much resentful. I can't say that. Both women are like determined to make sure these cases get solved to their children.
Okay.
But as far as a pushback for me, I had some people, because this is a thing, not only just these two families were interviewed by me, I actually did a campaign last year. Wow. So the campaign was to reach out to anyone. You don't have to be a mother. You could be a sister, a brother, a friend, or anything who's dealt with unsolved homicide in your family, if you were directly affected to that. So the campaign was held out at ProCam Studios.
Okay.
And you actually was able to come out, bring a picture, share the story of your loved one, and it goes on camera. Now, when I did reach out to one person, I did have someone who was like, you know, I'm not doing that. Don't call me no more. And I understood that, bagged off. And I say about 2 years later, they reached out to me like, okay, now I'm more in a different stage. It was fresh at the time.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, I just think that it's more so they really just want to get these stories out here. They want to make sure, they want to know that someone cares at the end of the day, that their kids is just not someone who's going on a RIP t-shirt or a Facebook status.
Now, what's next for the documentary? I know you're going to be having a film showing, so talk a little bit about that. That has to be exciting for you.
Yeah, it's very exciting. So the actual screening, it's a private screening due to a lot of reasons, but it's a screening at Charles Wright Museum.
Okay.
So the premiere is September 8th, 2017 from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Afterwards, we'll have a cocktail mixer where you're able to sit and discuss the film and actually talk about the actual topic. You'll be able to network amongst organizations that will be there, and I'm really excited. Like, I'm really ready to get the story out.
Now, will the family members be there as well?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
How are they feeling toward, you know, this being completed? Have you showed them any of the footage?
Yes.
Okay.
They have seen mini trailers, they have seen little clips, they have seen their own interviews. So I try to see, the hard thing when it comes to me actually being in my space of work, it's hard for me to communicate as far as keeping in touch with this person and that person. But every blue moon, I definitely be like, hey, how you doing today? I want to send you over this clip, or, you know, just keep them updated on the film, because it's a blessing that they even allow me to do this.
Exactly.
So they definitely have seen some clips, yes.
Now, after your private screening in September, what's going to be next for Connected Patterns? Are you going to take it national? What are you going to do next?
Definitely. Right now, this documentary right here is the opener. So this is the starter for numerous documentaries. I have numerous topics. I have numerous research on different topics. Every topic that I talk about in each documentary, I want it to be something that directly affects the Black community.
Okay.
That's something that I'm very passionate about, and that's something that I feel connected to. So we're going to take this thing as far as we can. It's been a long journey, a long road, and see what it does. And yeah, and if it goes far like I'm expecting it to, then that's the door opener for the next one.
I think that's awesome. I don't know how you've dealt with it, because I get attached to people and their emotions. So were there times where they were talking about something and you just felt it within yourself and you wanted to cry, or you wanted to scream, or were you angry? Like, how did you deal with all those emotions for over 2.5 years, basically?
One thing that I did make sure that I took into perspective is, when someone is weak, you're supposed to be strong for them. So if I'm doing an interview with you, I can't focus on my own emotions. I have to make sure that you're okay and let you be able to let that out. But afterwards, it was one interview that literally I went home, and the whole ride home, I sobbed like a baby, like the whole entire time. So it does, after a while, it does affect you. It does get to you. But all of that is the least important thing when you're trying to get a mission accomplished. So.
I agree. Well, I can't wait to see it. I know I'm definitely going to be at that private screening in September. And I want to thank you for being on Bria Brown Live and basically speaking about your documentary here, Connected Patterns. Now, the other ones that are going to be coming in the future, will they also be Connected Patterns? Will this all be under Connected Patterns? Like, is it all going to be under the same thing?
Yes, everything will be housed under Connected Patterns Media. And it won't just strictly be about homicides or anything like that. Like the next one is going to be about mental health in the Black community, because that's a taboo in the Black community. And then we're going to go from there from each topic. So, yeah.
Okay, well, I expect to see you. I want to thank both of my guests today, Fashanta Huber and Tam Wilson, for speaking with me today on Bria Brown Live. And I want to thank you, my audience, for watching. Catch us next time on Bria Brown Live.